I thank the gentleman for the time and the kind comments about my favorite team. I thank the majority party for this opportunity to bring this bill to the floor. This is a very, very special and emotional day on the island of Puerto Rico and throughout the Puerto Rican community in the United States. This is a tribute long, long, long overdue. If you know the history of our country, and we all do, you know that many groups have been treated unfairly. And many have been treated unfairly during wartime, which is so unfair. Let me read to you something that I found that's very interesting. The regiment faced unique challenges due to discrimination and prejudice, including the humiliation of being ordered to shave their mustaches, quote, until such a time as they gave proof of their manhood, being forced to use separate showering facilities from their non-Hispanic officers, being ordered not to speak Spanish under penalty of court-martial, flawed personal rotation policies based on ethnic and organizational prejudices, and a catastrophic shortage of trained non-commissioned officers. Yet, most of them were volunteers, if not all. Yet, they fought with great valor. Yet, they knew that they were very much a part of this nation. And so today, in awarding this Congressional Gold Medal, we're not just repairing a mistake of the past, but we're also paying tribute to ourselves as a nation, because a nation is great in many ways, and one of the things that makes this nation great is that we have made mistakes in the past, but every so often we look back and try to correct them. Under House rules, we're not allowed to point people out in the gallery, but it's important to know that to my right, there are members of the Borinqueneers, as Mr. Pierluisi said, including one who is 96 years old and is still here with us. God bless him. And these folks bring so much glory to our community. I remember growing up in New York, where I grew up. I came at the age of 6. My parents, my uncles, my father, who had all served in the military, would speak about the 65 de Infantería, the 65th Infantry Regiment, as something so special. It was a moment of glory on Saturday afternoons during a few drinks and a good roast pork or something and rice and beans to discuss a lot of the achievements in music and sports, but the achievements of the 65th Infantry was always part of that conversation because they had endured so much. Not to mention the fact, and this may sound funny, but remember they came from a tropical island and went on to suffer some of the most severe cold weather you could on the battlefields with less equipment, I am told, and history books will show, than other soldiers. And so you see, today we honor them, but today we honor ourselves. We here, on a bipartisan fashion, agree on one thing all the time, and that is that whether you agree on military action or not, when they come home, they should be taken care of properly. And when they're on the battlefield, they'll be treated equally. Those days have passed. The Borinqueneers were the last segregated unit in this country. We no longer have that, thank God. We now fight as one nation, indivisible, undivided, under God. And so I thank both sides. And I thank especially my brother, Mr. Pierluisi, for this initiative, and Mr. Medina, who are across the country. I tell you how important this is. The National Puerto Rican Parade, which is held this year, June 8th, which is the largest ethnic parade of its kind in the U.S., has made as one of its top 3 priorities the awarding of this medal. Little do they know that we beat them to the punch, and while they'll be asking for the medal to be passed, hopefully by 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight, we would have passed it in the House, and it'll be working on the Senate, and which will be, I don't think, that difficult to do. So thank you so much. Thank you as one who had a very simple military career in the Army. Where did they send a Puerto Rican? They sent me to Alaska. Luckily, I grew up in New York, so I was able to adapt to that code. But this is a wonderful day, a glorious day, and without pointing to them in the gallery, we thank them for their service and for their patriotism to this country and for honoring Puerto Rico the way they have. Thank you.